What does the other person actually hear when you speak? This has been studied in depth by many different fields of science, but I want to read you a quote by Milton Erickson. We always translate the other person's language into our own language. So, what does that actually mean? To me, it's just incredible that humans can even have a conversation together. Because first, we generate that image in our head. So, let me do a little experiment before I get too deep. Think of a dog. Do you have it? What dog was it? What was a color? What was size? Was it a specific dog? A dog that you perhaps knew? See, I was thinking of a lab. I got one sitting right over there. But we all have something different in our heads. And this is because we're all coming from our own reference point. So when we think of a concept or an image or a word, we first generate it up here in terms of an image. So when I said think of a dog, you got an image in your head. So we first generate the image, and then we go through a incredible amount of filters. We have an identity filter, that's our beliefs about ourselves. We have our belief filters. This is the beliefs of how the world operates. This is our what-if statements a lot of the times. Then we have our language filters. What language is our dominant language? And then what is our meaning for each word? Because we all, although have a pretty similar meaning, everybody has a different kind of connotation around them because of their upbringing, their family, their history, where they've traveled, what they've seen. And then it goes through a state filter. This is referring more to how your energetic state is. Are you in a happy state, a negative state, a positive state? And then the actual words are formed, and the sound transfers to the next person. Then, on the receiving side, there's the environment where you guys are talking in the first place. There's the body language of what you are displaying, so that's communicating things, whether it's kind of closed off or opened and strong. Then it's going to go basically in reverse. What is their state? How are they feeling at that moment? What are their beliefs? What are their rules of how the world works? What is their own identity? And how would they feel about themselves? So, and then finally that image is produced in their head. So if you think about it, it's gone through an incredible number of filters from an image of somebody's head communicated all the way to the image of somebody else's head. So it just boggles me that you and I can have a conversation. And for the most part, we know what the other person is talking about, which is just incredible. But this is why we always say language is clumsy, because there's so much interpretation that goes on. Like the dog. Which dog did you think about? So when you're talking to somebody else, always remember that there's an incredible amount of filters between you and them. So give the other person the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they didn't mean what you actually think they mean. Maybe they're in a bad state, so their verbiage was influenced by their bad state. So I think when we're in any conversation, we need to have a fundamental belief of their intentions are good. It may be misdirected in their moment of state or their moment of frustration or their moment of filters of their past. But if we allow that space for them to actually truly communicate with us, and we allow ourselves to truly communicate with them, it's amazing the difference in terms of all how it goes, the end result of that conversation. I hope this helps you a little bit, because especially in these times, I think we have to be so much more patient with others, because they have so much emotion inside them, and that leaks out into their daily conversations. And if we're not careful, we can misinterpret those for something else. If you're interested in learning more about this, I've got lots of other nuances that can go along to this. So feel free to send me a message. Otherwise, have a wonderful evening.